Dude, you gotta try this. Alex held up a miniature bottle of Coquito, the creamy coconut drink synonymous with Christmas in the Caribbean. Dave eyed the bottle skeptically. Isn't it a little early for Christmas cheer? He chuckled, taking in the vibrant beach bar scene around them. It was January 1st, the festive decorations were down, and the vibe was pure island relaxation. Alex grinned, his eyes twinkling mischievously. Trust me on this one, he insisted, pouring a bit of the creamy concoction into their drinks. This isn't just any Coquito. Intrigued, Dave raised his glass, clinking it against Alex's. To adventure then, he declared, a slight smirk playing on his lips as he took a swig. The sweet, spiced rum drink sent a warm tingle down his throat. Suddenly, the bottle in Alex's hand began to shake. It rattled violently, the Coquito inside swirling into a milky vortex. Both friends stared, eyes wide with disbelief, as the bottle clattered onto the table, rolling in a frenzied dance. A puff of cinnamon-scented smoke erupted, engulfing the bottle. When the smoke cleared, a figure stood on the table, tiny, no bigger than a thumb, clad in a miniature straw hat and a guayabera shirt fashioned from a palm leaf. "Saludos, amigos," the tiny figure boomed, his voice surprisingly deep and resonant. Dave choked on his drink, speechless as he watched the miniature figure strike a heroic pose on the table. Alex, however, didn't miss a beat. "Dave, meet Coquito Man," he said, a touch of pride in his voice, as if this were a perfectly normal occurrence. Their attention was drawn to a commotion at the bar. A shifty-looking character, sporting a Hawaiian shirt that clashed violently with the island vibe, was attempting to discreetly swipe money from the open till. The bartender, engrossed in a lively conversation with a group of tourists, remained oblivious. "Not on my watch, amigo," Coquito Man declared, his miniature chest puffing out with righteous indignation. With a swiftness that belied his size, he launched himself from the table, propelled by a tiny but potent burst of what could only be described as coconut-infused energy. He landed with a soft thud on the thief's shoulder, momentarily startling the unsuspecting man. Before the thief could react, Coquito Man delivered a swift, rum-infused punch to his ear. The bar erupted in laughter as the thief yelped in surprise. Section 5, Sticky Justice. Coquito Man was a whirlwind of miniature fury. He swung from the thief's gold chain, using the momentum to deliver a well-placed kick to his jaw. The thief, disoriented and now thoroughly coated in sticky Coquito residue, stumbled backward, knocking over a tray of colorful cocktails. The bartender, alerted by the commotion, finally noticed the thief's actions. "Hey!" he bellowed, his booming voice silencing the bar. Before the thief could make a run for it, two burly bouncers appeared, their expressions grim. They swiftly apprehended the struggling thief, dragging him away from the scene. Coquito Man, perched atop the bar, raised his tiny fist in victory, a triumphant grin on his face. The bar patrons erupted in cheers, their laughter echoing through the warm night air. He had saved the day. Alex, grinning from ear to ear, raised his glass in a toast. "To Coquito Man," he shouted, "protector of the innocent defender of good times." The bar patrons, caught up in the moment, enthusiastically joined in the toast. The rest of the evening passed in a blur of laughter, animated storytelling, and more than a few rounds of drinks. As the bar began to empty, Dave turned to Alex, a perplexed look on his face. "Did that really just happen?" he asked. Still struggling to process the events of the evening, he glanced at the empty Coquito bottle on the table, wondering if he'd imagined the entire thing. Alex, nursing his drink, simply smiled knowingly. "What happens at the tiki bar stays at the tiki bar," he said, winking conspiratorially. Walking along the beach, the sand cool beneath their feet, Dave couldn't shake off the feeling of surreal amusement. The salty air was thick with the scent of the ocean and something vaguely reminiscent of coconut and rum. He glanced at Alex, who was humming a cheerful tune, a self-satisfied smirk on his face. "You knew, didn't you?" Dave asked, shaking his head in amusement. "About Coquito Man, I mean." Alex just chuckled, his silence speaking volumes. As they reached the end of the beach, a faint "Hasta la vista, baby" echoed in the air, followed by a tiny, triumphant laugh that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. Dave couldn't help but grin. Maybe, just maybe, there was magic to be found in the most unexpected places, especially if those places served a good coquito. From that day forward, Dave became a firm believer. He never looked at a bottle of coquito the same way again. After all, one never knew when adventure might come knocking, especially in the magical, unpredictable world of the Caribbean.